Today is an opportunity. We start today with some opportunities. We start today with an opportunity to define or redefine what it means to be an Uxbridge Spartan. We start today with a clean slate. There are a lot of new faces in the building. There may be new classmates, so there's opportunities to start anew. We've spent a lot of time as a staff talking about culture. We talked about that as we were bringing in new faces, what it means to come to school every day here at Uxbridge. Honestly, the best answers we get come from students. You've shown us, you've shown me in a year, what it means to be a student at Uxbridge. I challenge you, it's not enough, it's never enough. I challenge you then to make today a good day. I challenge you to make tomorrow a good day. Two things. First one is a quote from Walt Whitman, and who some people like as a poet, some people don't. And he says, "O me, O life, that life exists in identity, that the powerful play goes on, and you may contribute." O me, O life, of the questions these recurring, of cities filled with the foolish, what good is there amidst these? And then the second quote he says, to follow that up, is, well, that you're here. What good is there? That you're here. That you have an opportunity to contribute your own verse. Then later he says, you must strive to find your own voice, because the longer you wait to begin, the less likely you are to find it. So, as you think about your year, as you think about your today, your tomorrow, your semester, whether you have 1 year left here, or 2, 3, or 4 years, and you're just getting started, our challenge to you, all of us, is to help you etch your verse, to find your voice. Not someone else's voice, not the ability to just spit back things at us when we give them to you. Find your voice. Whether you have a year left here, or 2, or 3, or 4, in the case of Mr. Tansen, 10 days. We all know Mr. Tansen has a voice, so please find a way to etch your verse here at Uxbridge High School. Find a way to find your voice. To say a couple of words, the president of the class of 2017, Dan Page.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dan Page, I'm president of the class. Just a few things. I'd like to welcome everybody back to the building for another great year here at Uxbridge High School. On behalf of class 2017 and the rest of the student body, we'd like to welcome our staff back to the building. And we'd also like to welcome our new staff. So new staff, step forward, give us a wave. Also, a big welcome to our freshmen. How are we doing, freshmen? To our sophomores, how are we doing? That's a little better. To our juniors. To my seniors. All right, everyone, I wish you a great 2016-2017 school year. Everybody put your best foot forward, come to school with the willingness to work. You'll see great things out of this education. All right, thanks, everybody.
And finally, the last you'll hear from me this morning, so with that, my pleasure to introduce Andy Quiros, who's a member of our school council, a member of the class of 2017. He's going to be introducing our guest speaker for the morning.
Today, we are all fortunate to hear from someone we hope you will find inspiring and energizing as you consider your challenges going into this year. Mike Mookie, that's what you call him, Wilson, suffered from a tragic accident in 2009 when his car was flipped on the Mass Pike. Since then, he has shared a message that anything is possible. If you put your mind to it, anything can be accomplished. Today, he shares this story to inspire us to remain positive, to face our challenges, to triumph over adversity. As we start our journey into Uxbridge High School in 2016 and 2017, please join me in welcoming Mr. Wilson as an Uxbridge resident and native, a friend, and someone who I personally know and babysit his children. Welcome, Mike. Please everyone give a round of applause.
Thank you very much, Mr. Quiros. I appreciate it. So I'm here this morning to talk to you about being positive, about how positivity can help you overcome anything, overcome any adversity of life, how being positive can truly make a difference in the world, in someone else's life, and most importantly, in your life. You're all sitting here going, what does he know about positivity and how is it going to change my life? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you a personal story of mine. One that I mentioned earlier happened about 7 years ago, almost to the day. And how my positive attitude brought me here today, standing in front of you, with the ability to share my story, to have my voice, to share my voice with all of you. So 7 years ago, I was on my way to work, a job I had been at for 5+ years. I thought I had the world in my hands. I thought I had everything going for me. A great job, family, friends, life. Just bought a brand new house in a wonderful new town. I thought I was invincible. Like many of you, I'm sure, do on a day-to-day basis, you feel like nothing can stop you, which isn't always a bad thing. Unless you're going 85 to 90 miles an hour down the Mass Pike in the pouring rain. Driving down the Mass Pike, 85, 90 miles an hour, pouring rain, on my way to work, I went under an overpass, I hit a puddle, and I hydroplaned into a Jersey barrier, where I put my face through the driver's door window, took out all 6 of my front teeth, broke my nose, took off all the skin on my right hand and arm. They call it degloving. There was nothing left but bone. And if you haven't noticed yet, which many of you may have, may not, I lost my left ear. And so my car flipped over on the Mass Pike. It went sliding down the highway. It came to a rest about 50 yards from where I hit the wall. And there I was at 4:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday, laying lifeless on the Mass Pike in pouring rain. Many cars stopped alongside of the highway because they couldn't go. I shut down the Mass Pike for many hours. They stopped on the side of the road and they stood there. Some came out of their cars, some checked on me. Most of them stood. And so one good Samaritan came running up to my car with a medical kit, whatever else he had in the backseat. And he said, we gotta help him, we gotta help him. Something, we gotta get him out of that car. And they all looked around and they said, no, he's dead. And he goes, what? They go, yeah, go look, there's no way that guy's alive. I said, all right, I run into my car, looked in the driver's door window, looked in the front window, and I must have moaned, groaned, twitched, or did something, because I showed my hand a sign of life. He immediately yelled to all the other good Samaritans that were standing there on the pike, and they all came over, ran over to the car. Well, this particular individual actually jumped in my car and put a tourniquet on my right arm to stop the bleeding. By the time the paramedics showed up, they flat out told that man that he saved my life. That if he hadn't been there and put a tourniquet on my arm, by the time the paramedics showed up, I would have bled out. So they left him in the car, they put the top over me or whatever they had, they covered me, they cut me out of the car, and they put me in an ambulance and they brought me to Worcester Hospital, University of UMass Worcester Hospital. They wheeled me in, and I lay there on the table, no teeth, broken nose, no ear, arm hanging off. And I asked the nurse if I could go to sleep now. She goes, yes, Michael, you can go to sleep. And I looked up at a bright white light and I fell asleep. 6 days later, I was awoken by my doctor. My doctor stood over me and he said, Michael, you've been in a major car accident. You've been asleep for about 6 days now. And I have to tell you, you suffered some serious traumatic injuries. With a breathing tube in my mouth, and one night I wasn't able to speak, so I could just lay there and listen. So I lay there in the hospital bed, and I realized I had two choices. I could say, woe is me, and go down the road of, that's it, my life is great, now I got a hand stuck in my stomach, I'm dismembered, disfigured. Oh well, I can be miserable and grumpy and mopey, because that's fun to be around. Or I can be positive. I can smile. I can take my attitude and recover. I can make the most of what I've now been dealt. I can't go back, I can only go forward. So I chose the positive road. I chose the road of recovery. I chose the road of overcoming adversity. Like many of you, you're going to have adversities in life. Most of you, all of you, are going to have adversity in life. Some are going to be small. You're going to wake up one day, you're going to have a bad hair day, and be like, oh my God, my life is over. I don't have that problem. As I mentioned earlier, a smile on your face goes a dramatically long way. The smile on my face essentially saved my life. The smile on my face saved my arm, saved everything. So when you get up in the morning, if you feel like you're having a bad day, you feel like things are going to go down a wrong road, smile. Look in the mirror and smile and do the best you can to be happy. So like I said, 7 years ago I was in a car accident and thought I had the world in my hands. 7 years later I stand in front of you here at Uxbridge High School and couldn't be any prouder, couldn't be any happier to be here to share my story with all of you. So I hope you leave here today, you take something from my story. It doesn't need to be the intricate details of the story. He was in a car accident, this happened, that happened. But take something from my story and how you can apply it to your life. And how it can help change your life for the positive. Thank you very, very much for being a great audience. I wish you all the best of luck. And have a wonderful school year. Thank you.